Floyd.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He's.
But
I mean,
saw an interview with him on 60 Minutes, and that guy is high strung. He cannot sit calm, which is kind of like the opposite demeanor of what his role is on Homeland, where
yeah,
he's the thinker, he's the thought provoker, and setting up ideas behind the ideas type thing.
yeah,
And it's just crazy to see him play a different role than what his completely character is in real life.
yeah. But I mean, it's
Then you
just
have, go ahead.
go. No, you're fine. Go.
I was gonna say Ray Donovan with Liv Schreiber. That's just a pretty cool show. It's different. He's kind of an enforcer and takes care of things when things go wrong for the rich people in Los Angeles. And it can be violent and obviously there's nudity in it.
And that's on
I
Showtime,
like
right?
Yeah, it's Showtime.
Yeah, my mom says that's really, really good. I think my sister probably records that for her, or gets it to her somehow. But my mom said she thought I'd really like that. I probably would. But the funny thing is about what's available now as opposed to what it was before. There is so much out there. You couldn't watch everything in a lifetime, I don't think. I mean, there's so much.
Like to.
I know. There's so much I want to see. Like, I've pretty much wasted HBO Go to the point where there's not much right now that I'd probably really want to watch unless I want to rewatch anything. My mom says vinyl's good. I think it's about the 70s music industry.
Yeah.
And I think Mick Jagger helped produce this. And it looks like okay, but I'm not that big in the music industry in the 70s. But she thought I might like it. But the
new one on Showtime is called Billions. So Damian Lewis, who was also on Homeland for a while.
Yeah.
But Paul Giamatti plays a U.S. District Attorney. And, man, I think that is just the role of a lifetime for him because his character, his demeanor, and the way he plays it is just perfect. And it's all about big business and hedge funds and how they're trying to bring them down. They don't go after the little ones and the big ones. And it's just it's well thought out. And, I mean, a lot of the stuff is over my head dealing with business, but the acting in it is just superb.
Well, that's good. I'll tell you one new one out that I think it's kind of weird. I don't know if too many people would want to see it. It's kind of a dark comedy, but have you seen Baskets on FX with
I'm gonna binge watch that one when I get a chance, but Zach Galifianakis is just so odd.
I know that's why I laugh so much. The main character other than him is a lady he talks to a lot, and she's just about as odd as he is, not as much, but that's a quirky dark comedy. I like it. I enjoy it. But I also like Borat too and Ali G. So that's kind of in my ballpark, I guess. I don't know about most people, but and something I can't believe I still watch is Walking Dead. I have seen every one of them, and the first couple of them, I'm like thinking I'm gonna hate this, and I'm gonna hate it, but all right. Well, I was trying to think, like we were talking about Baskets on FX and Better Call Saul. Or no, we were talking about Walking Dead too, I think. And
Walking Dead.
And I watched the first couple episodes, and I saw all those zombies eating that horse in Atlanta street. I'm like, man, I'm done. And then about 2 or 3 months later, start watching it back on Netflix. I was like, cool. And I just really got addicted to the storyline and the characters, and I haven't missed an episode since. And I think it starts tonight, doesn't it? Sunday the 14th.
Second half of the season, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep watching it. I wasn't sure if you watched it either. I never did talk to you about that show, but I didn't know if you still watched it.
I'm impressed with the amount of the makeup work and the just how many different ways they find to kill a zombie is just pretty impressive at that. But, yeah, there's definitely a storyline and characters where they're coming, they get split apart, they come together, and how these different groups interact with each other. I couldn't imagine time frame, but the takeoff of that Fear of the Walking Dead on the social breakdown and everything is pretty interesting too.
Yeah, and one thing I used to record The Talking Dead and watch that a little bit after each show. I couldn't believe those British trained actors could talk with a Southern accent like that. I had no idea. Most of the main ones are from Britain. I'm like, holy cow. When I heard some of those people speak, I'm like going, They were pretty good. I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, at least changing the accent and I don't know, but they're pretty darn good.
AMC puts on some good shows. I liked Longmire that they had on for 3 seasons, and then Netflix picked them up for the 4th season with Blue Diamond Phillips, and the main character's name is Robert Taylor, and even Katie Sackhoff is in there.
Yeah, I watched
of course, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. That she was in there. I was wondering why she looked so familiar. I saw the first 3 seasons of that. I haven't seen the Netflix season yet, but Better Call Saul's okay. I don't know if you've seen that since Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
but it's okay. I
think this season's going to kick in.
Yeah.
I think this season's going to kick into him where he's finally starting to really, from the previews, from the looks of it, looks like he's going to start going towards the dark side here and getting involved in more criminal activity and stuff. But his character, what's his name? Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk,
yeah.
his character. Mm-hmm. He's just a good actor, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to watch it, because I thought he was great in Breaking Bad. Didn't get enough of him in that show, and I was pretty pumped up that they I guess Vince Gilligan's doing this one again, and he's the one that started that, so I was really pumped that he was in that. I'm hoping Bill Burr's going to be in this one, but I don't know. He won't, on his podcast, he won't ever allude to the fact that he's in it or not, but he talks around it. But I'd love for him to be back in it. But I'm excited about that, and I think that starts in a week or so, or next week.
Yeah, it's in March, I think it starts.
Okay. I'm excited about watching that too. So I'm just getting bored of what's on that I've been watching. So I'm trying to find new stuff to watch. So I know.
Did you happen to see all of the FX series, the Legit, with Jim Jeffries?
I haven't. I never started.
You'll appreciate that. Jim Jeffries, he's an Australian comedian, and it's actually the whole show is based off of his original stand-up that he had that was on HBO, I think.
Oh, wow.
Or Comedy Central, one of the two. But the whole premise was working. He was like a foreign exchange student at one point and lived with his family in America, and then he ends up coming back over and living with the guy that was his brother, and his other brother is what was it, muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
And they had a real hard time understanding if the muscular dystrophy community would appreciate it.
Yeah.
They loved it because it made it look like those people are normal. It's just that their body can't do anything normal.
Oh, wow,
and
cool.
They actually loved it, but it only lasted for 2 seasons and got dropped. And it had Ginger Gonzaga was his girlfriend in it, and she's just beautiful, but she's extremely funny. Does a lot of improv stuff, actually.
Oh, cool. So what's that on now?
It is on Netflix. You can see it. It's called Legit.
Okay, because I'm actually stuff you're telling me that I haven't heard of. I'm writing it down, so I'm writing it down.
It used to come on after Archer, which is just unbelievably funny.
Yeah, I don't watch enough Archer, but I really liked the episodes that I watched of it. I thought it was pretty darn funny. So
yeah, it's on Netflix. You could actually watch it from the beginning.
Oh, cool.
John Benjamin is on. His voice is there, and he also does the voice for Bob's Burgers and stuff.
Okay, cool.
He actually had his own show for a while, for 1 season on FX, but it didn't do so hot. I can't remember, but most of the time he was living in a van down by the river, literally.
Yeah. Which I might add is your best impersonation of any person on. I hear stories about that all the time. They love your impersonation of that dude.
I'll tell you, when it comes to shows, Netflix themselves is putting out some of the best shows that are out there.
Oh, I agree. I really look for their name on the art of the title of the title cover, and I always look for Netflix created or Netflix originals because their documentaries are good. There's a lot of stuff that's really good. So
I could just run. Yeah. Down the list, I got Narcos, Marco Polo, House of Cards, Daredevil, Orange is the New Black, Lilyhammer, Jessica Jones, Master of None, Peaky Blinders, Bloodline. Those are all just great Netflix series.
Yeah.
You got me on Lilyhammer.
Yes, I love Lilyhammer. And I want to start watching Peaky Blinders because you told me about that and you described about what that was about. And I was like, man, I got to watch that because I like those historical based shows, and it's a gangster show, and I always like those mob gangster type shows, even historically, like Boardwalk Empire. And when you told me about Peaky Blinders, I was like, oh man, that'd probably be right up my alley. I have not started that yet, And
I think the main actor's name is Sam Neill,
okay,
not the older one, but the younger one.
okay. And I'm still trying to finish Beast of No Nation because I know you and Brody started that, and I'm in the middle of it, about where I left off when I was watching it with you guys, and I really like that too because I mean, it's awesome.
I read a few reviews that they were in uproar that didn't get any nominations for Golden Globes or anything for international stuff.
Wow, I can imagine it was good. And the cinematography is awesome. It was like, man, that looks like that is real, like in a real war-torn African nation. It might be, but it looked like it. It fooled me if it is or isn't. And House of Cards, I tried to get in it, but I'm not a big political drama kind of guy. So I tried. I watched 3 or 4 episodes, and I love Kevin Spacey, but I just didn't. I only watched 3 episodes, and I don't know. Sometimes
I can understand that if you struggle with politics, that's one that's going to be hard to get into. That's all it is.
Yeah, I like some of it, but it was just, I don't know. I guess it's just not up my alley. But I know a lot of people who like it and love it. So
well, if you want a little historical fiction, then Narcos about the Pablo Escobar and drug trade and everything. And there's a lot of some historical stuff in there that obviously, they created to make more of an action, but played by Wagner Moura. But man, he does a good job. I just couldn't imagine any stuff that the drug trade and things that people have to go through. But yeah, how they're a family man and all this stuff. But I mean, it got to the point where they're making so much money, they were literally burying millions of dollars. They had nowhere to put it. They just bury it throughout the country.
Yeah, I watched the pilot and loved it. I just haven't seen it since. And that's just about me finding, usually when I get on something, I'm on it till it's over. So when I get back on it, I'll really, and I stopped watching Orange is the New Black. The second season, I kind of got a little bit bored of it, but I do like it. It's funny, but I just haven't finished it.
Yeah, they start off the first half of the second season going into individual characters and kind of followed that one person around for a whole show, and then about midway through the season I just picked it back up, and I didn't realize there was a third season already.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And but they picked it back up where it's all integrated again, how all these stories came together. So,
yeah, and if you like character development, that's a good way to do it. I mean, if you want the background of how those people got there, and some of it was by chance or by fault or just accidental. Some of them got in trouble for just different reasons. But I watched part of that. I watched some of those where they talked about the backstory of some of the people.
Did you watch any of Master of None with Aziz Ansari?
Oh no, I have not seen that. No.
The first one I was just kind of like, it's kind of goofy, but then really started to get into it, and I thought it was pretty good writing. And come to find out, it was nominated for shows too, in the Golden Globes. I do believe.
Is that Netflix also?
Yeah.
Okay. Man,
he wrote it and directed it and everything. He did a good job.
Yeah, I just pulled it up because I got my iPad in front of me, so I'm pulling up the stuff you're talking about. So, but you're pretty on these the main stars. I checked it. You were Peaky Blinders. You had the right guy on that one too.
I did my research.
Yeah, you're good.
The show.
Oh, you did good. All right, cool. Yeah. But I mean, you're pretty quick with this stuff anyway. Huh? In a group, you always come up with. You're pretty accurate with this stuff. You're pretty good.
Now, if we go away from cable and go back to network stuff, some shows there, I actually kind of like Elementary with Johnny Miller and Lucy Liu, kind of a modern day Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And then I thought the other modern day Sherlock Holmes from BBC is Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch. I liked both of those.
Okay.
And Johnny Miller's an American doing a British accent for once.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've missed a lot of network stuff. Other than I've seen CSIs, and my wife and I watch NCIS sometimes. But I've kind of not watched a lot on network. She watches.
I've gone away from it too.
Yeah, she watches that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She likes that. But other than that, we don't watch much on there.
Taylor. I still watch Blacklist with James Spader. I think he's a good actor, and that's pretty good. Government conspiracy type stuff and everything.
Okay, that's
matter
right.
Matter of fact, this is my only real connection to TV here. in 2 episodes